On a sunny morning at a kindergarten playground, everything feels normal, kids laughing, running around, and taking turns on the swings. One girl asks her friend to push her higher, but out of nowhere, she's slammed forward by something unseen and crashes to the ground, crying in pain. Soon after, Teacher Kai is tending to the injured child with an ice pack. She mentions how strange it is that swing accidents keep happening. Teacher Akira brushes it off as kids being careless. Kai isn't convinced this is the 5th incident in just a few days. Suddenly, shouting breaks out. A girl named Kaya is standing in front of the swings, arms stretched wide, refusing to let a boy use them. When he protests, Kaya firmly shuts him down. Kai steps in, clearly frustrated, and scolds Kaya for always causing problems. Kaya rolls her eyes, unfazed. Other teachers whisper nearby, saying Kai is unlucky. Kaya has a reputation her last teacher couldn't handle her and quit. Mid-lecture, Kaya suddenly bolts. Kai instinctively chases after her, leaving the playground behind. The moment they're gone, the boy jumps onto the swing. At first, the ride feels incredible, like someone is pushing him perfectly. Then it gets worse. Higher. Faster. Completely out of control. Panicked, he begs for it to stop. Kaya rushes back, grabs the chain, and yanks him off, ordering him to leave. The boy assumes Kaya was the one behind it until she sits on the swing herself and gets hurled into the air just as violently. That's when a black, sticky mass oozes out from the ground, forming a grotesque creature that uses its hands to shove Kaya midair. Without hesitation, she punches it with overwhelming force, obliterating it instantly. The truth becomes clear: Kaya isn't a troublemaker. She's a psychic. Afterward, Kaya gently offers the boy her hand and smiles, saying it's okay and asking if he wants to swing together. Terrified, he runs away, screaming that he's scared of both the swing and her. Kaya quietly mutters that she isn't scary. Unbeknownst to her, Teacher Kai witnessed everything and realizes she can see the monsters too. Later, inside the classroom, a girl happily reads a peekaboo book. When she turns the page, a sinister presence leaks out, freezing her in terror. Around the same time, a parent calls to say their child won't be attending school today. Akira goes to inform Kai, but instead finds Kai and Kaya locked in a struggle over the very same book. Kaya refuses to let it go, insisting it must never be opened. Another child storms off crying, claiming she hates Kaya. Exhausted and confused, Kai asks Kaya what her problem is. Kaya ignores the question, tapes the book shut, and walks away. Akira tells Kai not to dwell on it. Some kids are just difficult. But Kai can't let it go. Since the swing incident, no one has been hurt. Curious, she opens the book Kaya sealed and notices one specific page taped closed. That's when everything finally connects. Kai rushes out and finds Kaya sealing multiple books. Losing her patience, Kai snaps, accusing Kaya of ruining things for everyone. Other teachers laugh, watching Kai unravel. While reorganizing the books, Kai realizes there are far too many taped pages. Kaya calmly states that none of them can ever be opened, then leaves. Frustrated, Kai removes some of the tape anyway. Instantly, Kaya senses it and comes running. Kai jokingly flips a page until a horrifying face lunges out of the book. She drops it in terror as a monster begins crawling free. Before it can strike, Kaya smashes it flat with another book, destroying it effortlessly. "That's why I told you not to open it," she says, completely calm. At last, Kai understands. Kaya wasn't causing chaos, she was preventing it. As another teacher drags Kaya away, she urgently warns that the books must stay closed. Kai realizes the horrifying truth: every single book contains a monster. In a panic, she throws them all outside only for the clueless principal to pick them up and bring them back in. The next day, Kaya and her dad leave for school. He mentions having a headache. Kaya touches him, and a monster attached to his head vanishes instantly. Outside, Kaya sees monsters everywhere and even pulls her dad aside to avoid one. Back at school, a child screams from a locked bathroom. Kai rescues him, and Akira announces that the middle bathroom is off-limits because it locks on its own. Kaya stares at it suspiciously. A desperate girl runs up to Kaya, begging to use the bathroom. Kaya allows it, but warns her not to use the taped one. The girl ignores her, runs in, and says she trusts Kaya to save her. Inside, the girl finishes, but when she tries to leave, the door won't open. Just like Kaya warned, she's trapped. The girl thinks about yelling for Kaya to open the door, but stops herself. If Kaya hears her, she'll call a teacher, and that would mean trouble. So she stays quiet. Then her imagination runs wild. If I stay here too long, I'll turn into a skeleton. She panics and yanks at the door. It opens slightly, then bang, something slams it shut. These doors are supposed to open easily from outside, which is why kids never get trapped. But what if no one comes? A slow, creepy voice whispers, "Poor thing, no one's coming to save you." Her legs shake. Suddenly, Kaya bursts in and shouts, "Run!" She faces the monster with a huge smile. This time, someone actually asked her for help, and that makes her happy. Without hesitation, she shoves the monster into the toilet and flushes it away like it's nothing. When teacher Akira arrives and sees the wrecked bathroom, she's completely confused. Before anyone can blame her, the girl sneaks off. Akira demands an explanation. Kaya freezes, saying, "It was a monster, never works." That's when Kai steps in and takes the blame, saying she broke the door and pipes by accident. Akira scolds her and makes her clean everything. Later, Kaya asks why Kai lied. Kai admits no one would believe the truth, but she believes Kaya. She finally understands that Kaya has been protecting everyone all along, and promises to protect her in return. Kaya blushes, overwhelmed. The girl Kaya saved returns and quietly thanks her. For the first time, Kaya is praised for doing what she's always done, and she glows with happiness. That evening, Kaya's dad picks her up. Kai notices her mom never comes and learns something serious happened to her. At home, Kaya excitedly runs to her mom's room, only to be greeted by something terrifying hiding inside. For the first time, Kaya turns away. Even she has fears she can't face. A few days later, during a walk, a girl named Saku claims a house nearby has a ghost watching her from a window. The others don't believe her until Kaya admits she can see ghosts too. Excited, they return together. Saku points at the window, but Kaya sees something far worse standing right in front of them. She takes it out instantly, leaving Saku confused. When Kai arrives and looks at the window herself, her face goes pale. Whatever is there is very real. That's when the truth finally sinks in. The face in the window wasn't a ghost at all, it was a real person who had already died. The spirit Kaya defeated was that person's lingering soul. Luckily, Kaya and Saku don't understand how dark the situation really was. To them, it was just another ghost. The teachers also decide not to explain anything, choosing to protect the kids from unnecessary fear. The next morning, Kaya heads to school with her dad, unaware that someone is quietly following them. At school, the teachers receive a disturbing warning. A suspicious man, somewhere between 30 and 50, has been seen hanging around the area. Even worse, there have been reports of children going missing for an entire day only to suddenly return home, claiming they were with their mother just moments before. Naturally, the teachers are shaken. Since the class is visiting a public park that day, the principal tells everyone to stay extra alert. At the park, Akira reminds the kids to stay where the teachers can see them and never talk to strangers. But from behind a tree, something or someone is watching Kaya again. While playing, a girl places a flower crown on Kaya's head. Kaya is overjoyed and impressed. The girl's name is Yuzu, and she proudly says her mom taught her how to make it. Hearing the word mom makes Kaya a little sad, but she asks Yuzu to teach her anyway. As Kaya picks up a flower to begin, she turns around and Yuzu is gone. Panicking, Kaya runs into the forest to look for her. Unseen, someone follows her. Kai notices both girls are missing and rushes after them. Kaya finds Yuzu and warns her that teacher Akira will be furious. Yuzu calmly explains that her mom called her from the forest. Then a woman appears, and Yuzu happily introduces her as her mother. But Kaya listens closely to the woman's voice and instantly knows something is wrong. This isn't Yuzu's mom. When the woman tells Yuzu to come with her, Kaya grabs Yuzu's hand and refuses to let go. Yuzu doesn't understand why Kaya is stopping her and starts getting upset. The woman releases Yuzu's hand and keeps calling her closer. Just as Yuzu raises her hand in frustration, a massive, horrifying creature appears. At the worst possible moment, Kai arrives and sees the monster reaching for the girls. Without thinking, she grabs it and somehow throws the huge figure aside with unbelievable strength. She scoops up Kaya and Yuzu and runs as fast as she can back to safety. Akira is furious that they disappeared, but Kai urgently explains that she encountered a suspicious person. Later, as things calm down, Akira tries to make sense of it all. Yuzu insists she saw her mom. Kaya says Kai threw a man. Akira isn't sure whether it was truly a threat or just a terrible misunderstanding. The principal steps in and gently reminds the children of one important rule: never go somewhere the teachers can't see you. At pickup time, Yuzu's mom arrives. When Kai casually asks if she was at the park earlier, the woman says no. That answer sticks in Kai's mind, especially since Kaya had said the person in the forest never actually hurt them. Before leaving, Kai gives Kaya a small pocket alarm. She explains that it makes a loud noise when dangerous people get close. Kaya innocently asks if it works on good people too. Kai says yes, but adds that bad people run away, while good people stay. Naturally, Kaya presses the button and fills the school with noise. Later, Kaya waits for her dad. Or at least, she thinks she is. Another dad appears and tells her to take a shortcut home. Kaya climbs over the school fence, even though her friends try to stop her. Their confused Kaya is clearly alone. But there's a strange shadow walking beside her. As they move forward, Kaya spots her real dad standing with Kai. That's when it hits her this isn't her father at all. A boy runs to Kai shouting that Kaya jumped the fence. Knowing Kaya would never do that without a reason, Kai instantly panics and runs after her. Meanwhile, Kaya realizes the truth. She considers using the alarm, then decides she doesn't need it. She crushes the creature's hand and confidently says she's strong enough on her own. The creature screams and suddenly transforms into Kaya's mother. That completely shatters her. The mother gently fixes Kaya's hair, takes her hand, and tells her it's time to go home. For a moment, Kaya almost believes it. But then, the mysterious man from earlier appears and splashes the creature with holy water. It shrieks in pain as he explains the truth. It's a soul-stealing monster that copies loved ones to kidnap children. Now furious, Kaya slaps the monster away and destroys it instantly. The man introduces himself as Mob, an odd older guy Kaya once saved long ago. He admires her powers and tries to greet her, but Kaya doesn't remember him. So she presses the alarm and calmly says, "Stranger danger." The alarm brings Kai running. She instantly distrusts Mob, but Kaya defends him, pointing out that he didn't run when the alarm went off, which means he isn't bad. Mob explains Kaya saved his life when she was very young, and he's been grateful ever since, maybe a little too grateful. Kaya's real dad arrives, and she jumps into his arms. Mob introduces himself to Kai as an occult writer and hands her his card, saying he has a lot to explain later. Kai stares at the card, unimpressed, and mutters that the whole thing feels extremely sketchy. Later that day, Kaya is at school happily drawing with her classmates, while teacher Kai is completely lost in thought. She can't stop thinking about the strange day she met Mob, the occult guy. After that encounter, Kai did some digging and shockingly, everything Mob said turned out to be true. Still, to Kai, he's extremely suspicious. One thing is clear, she has to protect Kaya from that creep. Snapping back to reality, Kai notices Kaya's drawing and compliments it, saying it's super cute. Kaya beams with joy and says she's going to color it. But when she opens the crayon box, she realizes something's wrong. The black crayon is missing. Even stranger, none of the other kids have black crayons either. Kai and Akira find this suspicious, while the kids immediately start whispering about a thief, even though one kid doesn't even know what a thief is. Kai then notices Yuzu acting nervous. When questioned, Yuzu panics and tries to sneak away, but since she's too honest to lie, she admits her brother has a bunch of black crayons. They head to the first grade teacher's room, where teacher Mero apologizes for her student's behavior. The boy, Ken, has used all the black crayons to scribble all over the classroom mirror because he says it scares him. Mero dismisses this completely. calling Ken a problem child and mocking him for being afraid of a mirror. Her arrogant tone makes it obvious she hates her job and is only there for the paycheck. Akira tells her to watch her words, and Mero suddenly switches to a softer tone, apologizing and promising to scold Ken for stealing and ruining the crayons. Still, Kai finds Mero's earlier attitude unsettling, and Akira agrees she'll talk to her properly later. Meanwhile, Ken stares at the mirror with a mix of fear and curiosity. That evening, Kai is working overtime with Kaya when Mero shows up again. She explains she's staying late not by choice, but because she's been forced to clean the mirror Ken messed up. Kai offers to help, but Mero coldly refuses and takes a jab at her, telling Kai to do her best raising problem children. Knowing Kaya's powers, Kai starts worrying something might be wrong with the mirror and offers to help again. Mero refuses once more. As Mero wipes the mirror, something horrifying happens. A terrifying monster suddenly appears in the reflection, grabs her by the neck, and makes her scream. Hearing this, Kaya rushes in. The creature starts pulling Mero's leg, trying to drag her into the mirror. Without hesitation, Kaya kicks the monster, forcing it back into the mirror and saving Mero. As Mero recovers, Kaya notices something disturbing. The reflection isn't flipped. The name and design are exactly the same, which shouldn't happen in a mirror. The next day, Mero is completely different. She's kind, gentle, and even apologizes to Yuzu and Ken. But something feels off. The beauty mark on her face has switched sides, and the name on her clothes is reversed. Kai assumes Akira gave her a serious lecture, but Akira admits she hasn't spoken to Mero yet. At that moment, two hands slam against the mirror from the inside, trying to break out. Later, it's swimming class. Kai is just as excited as the kids. Saku shows off her cute swimsuit, but notices Kaya is fully covered. Kaya says she doesn't want to get sunburned. Kenken starts teasing her, but the girls chase him away. As everyone swims, Kaya notices a ghost hovering above the pool, waiting. Kaya stays out because she can't swim and hates pools. Kenken returns to tease her again, but Yuzu offers Kaya a kickboard. 4 years ago, Mob had a cheerful little daughter. Seeing her smile was his greatest joy. One tragic day, while walking to school, she was called across the street by a friend and was killed instantly by a truck. At the funeral, everyone tried to comfort Mob and his wife. But Mob wasn't grieving like the others, because he could still see his daughter's spirit. Despite knowing the dangers of the occult, Mob made a terrible mistake. He asked her spirit to stay. His wife couldn't see their daughter and couldn't accept what Mob was doing. She left him a note saying, "When you calm down, I'll come back." Mob kept pretending everything was normal, talking to her, taking her places. But spirits aren't meant to stay in the human world. Over time, they turn into monsters. That's exactly what happened. His daughter grew weaker, then transformed into a terrifying ghost. Realizing this happened because of his selfish wish, Mob lost all hope and decided to follow her into death. But then she said something unexpected. She asked him to bring her mommy too. Mob broke down, begging her to take only him. That's when Kaya appeared and destroyed the ghost instantly. What she destroyed was no longer his daughter. Mob tells Kai that Kaya didn't just save his life, she helped him accept his daughter's death and saved his marriage. Kai admits she understands why Mob admires Kaya, but tells him stalking isn't the right way. Mob agrees. He explains he kept his distance and spent years researching Kaya's powers instead. But everything changed last month. Mob's occult partners discovered a house in the area that's extremely dangerous. That house belongs to Kaya. Mob looks deadly serious and says, "Inside that house, there's something very dangerous." Sometime later, Kai is lost in thought, replaying her unsettling conversation with Mob. She's genuinely worried about Kaya and still shaken by the creepy things Mob mentioned earlier. Just then, Kaya's dad arrives to pick her up, and Kaya rushes over it's time to go home. Kai casually mentions that she's looking forward to visiting Kaya's house the next day, and Kaya's dad confirms it with a warm smile. They say goodbye, but right at that moment, a police emergency alert goes out. An 8-year-old girl has gone missing. The alert describes her as having black hair in braids, wearing a flowery blouse and a white skirt. Kaya asks what's happening, and her dad explains that not only did the little girl disappear, but an elderly man also went missing earlier that morning. He warns Kaya to be careful and not wander off, and she promises she won't. A little further down the road, luck strikes. They spot the missing girl. She's terrified and immediately clings to Kaya's dad, begging for help because she can't find her way home. He reassures her and says they'll go to the police so they can contact her parents. For a moment, the girl looks relieved until she suddenly sees something that drains all the color from her face. She panics, says she still can't go home, and bolts. It's as if she's being chased. Kaya's dad can't see anything, but Kaya can. A horrifying monster is sniffing the girl's trail, slowly closing in. The girl keeps running because she doesn't want to lead the monster to her house. Eventually, she's trapped in a dead-end alley and hides behind a pole, desperately hoping it will somehow protect her. When someone appears at the entrance, she feels relief until she realizes it's Kaya, wearing her unmistakable hunter's stare. Calmly, she says, "Found you. Oh, the girl's here too." The monster suddenly grabs the girl by the head, but Kaya instantly proves why she's on another level. With a single strike, she slices the creature in half. As it fades away, Kaya listens to its final words and explains to the girl that it wasn't attacking out of malice, it was suffering and desperately wanted to go home. That's when the girl remembers how it all began. Earlier, she was playing with her paper airplane when it fell into the river. While trying to retrieve it, she saw something she was never meant to see. Kaya's dad finally catches up, relieved that both girls are safe. But the girl is still shaken, haunted by the bag she saw in the water. Later, she reunites with her mother. The police then announce that both the child and the missing elderly man have been found. That's when the truth hits. The bag in the river was all that remained of the elderly man. The experience leaves the girl deeply traumatized. The next day at school, the mood completely shifts. The kids are buzzing with excitement over a huge pile of new toys. The principal explains that another school shut down and planned to throw them away, so she brought them here instead. Chihiro barely reacts. She's already used to the principal's zero-waste habits. Most of the toys are broken, and Akira says they'll sort everything out later. The teachers take the kids outside to play, planning to organize the toys the next day. But three curious girls stay behind. Nachai is nervous about getting caught, but the others don't care. While snooping around, they find a strange, unsettling doll. The moment Nachai picks it up, something feels wrong. Suddenly, Kaya appears and coldly warns, "Don't do it." The girls pretend they're innocent, but Kaya simply says, "You can't keep her." Ignoring the warning, Nachai walks away with the doll. Kaya's expression says everything. The doll is a monster. Soon, Nachai starts acting strange. Her sleeve is torn, just like the doll's. She cuts her own hair to match it, pulls out a baby tooth with a disturbing smile, and insists everything is fine. Her friends finally realize the doll is the problem and try to throw it away, but it's already gone. Then Nachai reappears, fully possessed, clutching the doll. Terrified, one of the girls slaps it, sending the doll flying straight to the feet of the worst, or best, possible person, Kaya. She casually picks it up like a hunter catching prey and says, "This is why I told you not to." She smashes the doll into the ground. Nachai collapses. When she wakes up, she's back to normal with no memory of what happened, except that she's missing a tooth. Kai makes her first home visit to Kaya's house, nervous after Mob warns her that something insanely powerful lives there. Kaya is happy to see her until Kai mentions meeting her parents. Kaya panics, shouting that she can't, because her mom is different. Then the door opens. Kaya's mother steps out, radiating terrifying power. Kai, unaware, greets her normally. Kai sees an ordinary woman. Kaya sees a horrifying monster. They sit in the kitchen and talk casually. To Kaya, her mother's words don't even sound human, like a foreign language, yet Kai and Kaya's dad understand her perfectly. After the visit, Kai leaves. Outside, Mob reveals he followed her. He eagerly asks if she noticed anything strange. Kai says everything seemed normal. Mob doesn't believe her and presses harder. Scared, Kai refuses to say more. Just then, Kaya's mom returns Kai's forgotten pen. Kai is touched, especially since the woman is pregnant. Mob, however, freezes in fear. Unlike Kai, he can sense it. At the park, Mob explains the truth. Kaya's mom is possessed but not controlled. The real host is likely the baby. The mother is acting as a shield, protecting it both physically and emotionally. That's why the ghost can't be exorcised. If it could be, Kaya would have already destroyed it. Now Kai is left wondering, will the ghost stay until the baby is born? And when it is, will it even be human? What happens to Kaya if her sibling becomes the very thing she hunts? A few days later, Kaya slips into her tiny shoes, packs her backpack, grabs her barley tea bottle, and heads to school with her dad. Later, everyone gathers at the train station for a field trip. Miss Kai is already losing her mind because Mob won't stop calling her, saying he has something super important to tell her. She tells him she's busy with the kids, but he keeps talking, so she finally hangs up. The moment she turns around, chaos begins. One kid wants juice, another needs the bathroom, and everyone is talking at once. Already stressed, Kai almost explodes until Akira and Chihiro step in to help calm things down. On the train, the kids are relaxed and happy, until a creepy old man shows up. He tells the children to stand because only adults who paid deserve seats. Chihiro snaps back, saying tickets were bought for the kids too. To avoid a scene, Akira and Chihiro give up their seats even though plenty of others are empty. When the train stops, the teachers check for everyone, but Kai suddenly realizes Kaya is still inside, playing around. She rushes back to get her, but the doors close and they're carried to the next station. Akira calls and says it's actually better Kai is with Kaya, it would have been way worse if the kid was alone. Then the call drops. Without Kai noticing, the train slips into another dimension. Kai sits down and asks Kaya to sit too, but Kaya refuses. She's scared because the creepy old man is still there, the same guy who told her not to sit before. Kai loudly tells her she doesn't have to listen to some random weirdo and that kids have every right to sit. Suddenly, ghosts appear all around the train. The old man nearly faints. Kaya explains the ghosts were blocking the exit earlier, that's why she couldn't get off. Kai is terrified, but Kaya calmly says not all ghosts are bad. Then she points at the old man and says, "But that one is." When the train stops again, Kai tries to leave, but a ghost tells her she can't. The old man pushes past her and escapes only for a monster to appear behind him. Yeah, it doesn't end well for him. The train finally returns to the normal world. Kai wonders if it was all a dream, until Mob calls and says her GPS vanished earlier, a clear sign she entered another dimension. He warns her that other world stations are super dangerous. There's no train back, but suddenly a car pulls up. Mob leans out and shouts, "Your Uber has arrived." With no choice, Kai gets in and asks why he's even there. Mob dodges the question like always. Kai asks the driver if she thinks Mob is crazy. The driver replies calmly, "Yeah, my husband has always been a weirdo." Turns out she's Mob's wife. Kai is shocked. Kaya recognizes Mob and happily calls him Uncle Mob, which nearly makes the man faint from joy. Mob finally explains why he kept calling. Kaya's grandmother, Ibisamori, is famous for seeing spirits from other worlds. She once helped solve paranormal crimes and was known worldwide for her abilities. Mob believes she might know something about Kaya's missing mother. Since her grandma lives close to the field trip area, Mob thought they should visit. Kai immediately accuses him of trying to kidnap Kaya. Mob says he planned to take Kai too, which somehow makes it sound even worse. Soon, they reach the nursing home. Inside, Kaya sees an old woman yelling at a ghost to go away. Mob explains these spirits are called those who take away. They appear when someone is close to dying. They aren't evil, just part of nature. Kaya, not really understanding, walks up to one and gently says, "Shoo." Pop. The ghost vanishes like a soap bubble. The old woman suddenly feels healthier and thanks her. Mob panics, because now everyone wants that power. The other elderly people rush over shouting, "Make mine go away too. I want to live longer." Mob and Kai run as the seniors chase them like zombies. Mob explains that those who take away basically mean death itself. When people see death coming, they accept it, but when they learn it can be chased away, they'll do anything to hold on to life just a little longer. And suddenly, this field trip turned into a supernatural survival mission. Mob warns that if the possessed elders get too close to Kaya, she's in real danger. They see her as their personal delete death button. He tells Kai to run to Kaya's grandma's room while he stays behind to handle the zombie-style seniors. Kai grabs Kaya and bolts. Mob turns around to face the elderly crowd like a low-budget action hero. Right then, Ebisamori appears. She calmly taps her cane on the floor and boom, every death spirit vanishes like smoke. She scolds the old folks, saying chasing away death won't make them live longer. It'll only make them more scared, because now they'll never know when their time is up. Mob is completely amazed by the power of Japan's strongest medium. He introduces himself and says he has someone very important for her to meet. Meanwhile, Kai and Kaya reach Ebisamori's room, but it's empty. Inside, Kai finds a family photo and notices Kaya's mother when she was young. She turns to show Kaya, but Kaya's face suddenly looks cold and strange. At the same time, Mob tells Ebisamori she has a granddaughter named Kaya. Ebisamori frowns and says she doesn't remember any granddaughter, wondering when her cruel daughter even had a child. They enter the room. Ebisamori sees Kaya from behind. When Kaya turns around, Ebisamori panics. "Nana, why did you do this? This child is innocent. If you want someone dead, take me instead." Before anyone can react, Kaya flashes a creepy smile and instantly faints. Later, on the way back, Kaya wakes up and casually says they never met her grandma. They arrived just in time for the field trip, and Kai explains that Kaya forgot everything around that moment, probably because it was too painful. Mob agrees it's better that she doesn't remember. While Kaya happily enjoys the trip, Kai realizes something chilling. Kaya didn't forget. That terrifying girl wasn't Kaya at all. And Kai knows the truth will come out someday. A few days later, Akira asks the class to draw something memorable. Kaya proudly sketches herself beating up a ghost in a creepy forest while Kai smiles supportively. Akira scolds her for playing scary games, but Kaya insists it wasn't a game. Knowing Kaya truly fights spirits, Kai lies smoothly, saying it was just a tree that looked like a ghost. Akira apologizes, and Kaya is grateful Kai backed her up. At the mall, Mob secretly keeps an eye on Kaya to protect her, though he looks suspicious enough to scare other shoppers. When Kaya's dad suddenly disappears, the once busy mall turns eerily empty. She spots someone who looks like her father and runs off. Mannequins' heads begin turning toward them. Near a fitting room, a fake dad lures her in. Mob senses the trap, but Kaya pulls the curtain only for a mannequin wearing her dad's face to attack. Mob grabs her and runs, but in the elevator, the Kaya beside him reveals itself as a monster. As it attacks, the real Kaya bursts in, declares no one messes with Uncle Mob, and destroys it in one punch. Mob tearfully thanks her. At Lost and Found, Kaya's mom appears, but Kaya senses something wrong and runs. Outside, the woman removes a wig. It's Aunt Nana, her mom Mai's older sister. Nana claims she only wanted to meet her niece and asks Kaya's dad not to tell Mai. As she leaves, she considers whether to handle Kaya or the power inside her. Back at school, Kenken is falsely blamed for breaking a vase and sent to the fake punishment room, a rumor Chihiro invented. Kaya decides to defeat the ghost there and drags Saku along. They end up in a dark supply closet. Though Saku fears the dark, Kaya confidently promises protection. The door slams. In the darkness, a massive ghost appears whenever the lights flip on, screaming, "You see me?" Kaya experiments with the switch, realizing she can see it. When it charges, she knocks it out in one punch, forgetting to leave the lights on. So Saku is still crying. Kai arrives, takes them to the punishment room, and surprises Kaya with snacks instead of punishment. When Kaya proudly says she protected Saku, Kai gently points out that Saku is still scared. Kaya realizes Saku feared the dark, not the ghost. Embarrassed, she admits she doesn't understand that fear but apologizes sincerely. Kai explains true strength means understanding others. Saku forgives her, and they hug. Meanwhile, Nana visits her mother, Ibasemare, once Japan's strongest psychic medium, now broken and muttering that Mai died giving birth to that thing. Whatever happened around Kaya shattered her sanity. Nana concludes something is terribly wrong. Elsewhere, Mob receives a warning from his master, Raijin Arataka. Stay away from Kaya's house. Mob is too weak. If he lets his guard down, he'll regret it. The next day, Kaya's mom, Mai, announces she's pregnant. Kaya is overjoyed she's going to be a big sister and vows to protect the baby. But at the hospital, doctors warn of a high risk of premature birth due to Mai's past emergency delivery. She must stay overnight. That's when Kaya sees something no one else can. A ghost, trapped inside Mai's belly, crying. Mai confesses she was overwhelmed with anxiety during her first pregnancy and desperately wants this child to be born safely. Later, at hospital daycare, Kaya hears screaming from room 303. "My baby, where is my baby?" A woman is hysterical. Nurses whisper it's a repeated episode and hint that if the baby had been born healthy, this wouldn't be happening. Then Kaya sees it. A baby ghost crawling toward room 303. She follows. Inside, baby ghosts swarm the grieving mother as she screams none of them are hers. Kaya calmly eliminates them all within seconds. "It's okay, ma'am. No more ghosts." The woman sobs, saying she was supposed to have a baby. Suddenly, she looks down. Her baby is in her arms. She cries in relief. A nurse walks in and scolds Kaya for being alone in the room. Kaya turns to leave, but the room is empty. No woman. No baby. When Kaya asks where the mother went, the nurse looks disturbed. There hasn't been a patient in that room for a while. That's when the truth hits. The woman in room 303 died during childbirth. So did her baby. What Kaya saw wasn't a patient, it was a grieving mother's ghost, still searching for the child she never held. On the way home, Kaya's dad argues with his boss, refusing to come to work while Mai is hospitalized. Then a note from Nana arrives, saying she's glad Mai and Kaya are okay and offering help anytime. The next day at the playground, the kids discover their favorite equipment has been removed after someone got hurt. They line up for the slide instead until Kenken and some boys cut the line. Saku gets angry and threatens to tell Miss Akira, but suddenly goes quiet. Kaya sees why. A creepy ghost is grinning inside Saku. She's possessed. Kaya punches the spirit solid hit, but it doesn't break. This possession forces kids to do dangerous things. Saku suddenly declares she'll go down the slide head first. At the same time, Kenken and the other boys are revealed to be possessed too. Kenken starts climbing up the slide as Saku launches herself down. A deadly collision is seconds away. But both snap back at the last second. Miss Akira had been watching. She yanks Kenken off the slide just in time. Saku crashes into the sand instead. Then comes the real terror, Miss Akira's glare. One look from her is enough to scare the remaining ghosts out of the other kids. Conclusion? Miss Akira is absurdly strong. That afternoon, Nana arrives to pick Kaya up, surprising Kai. Nana immediately recognizes Kai as the teacher who visited Kaya's grandmother in the hospital. She asks bluntly, "How much do you really know about Kaya?" Kai plays it off as school-related. Nana isn't fooled. She warns her to stop digging some things normal people can't handle. On the way home, a shady ghost follows them. Nana tells Kaya not to look at it, eye contact lets it attach. It trails them home anyway. Nana seals the door with a ward. Then the doorbell rings. It looks like Kaya's dad, but Nana received a message saying he wouldn't be home until 6 p.m. So it's not him. She calmly tells Kaya to ignore it. The bell rings again. Now it's Mob. Kaya instantly knows it's fake. The real Mob calls her Kaya-sama, not Kaya. She refuses. The bell rings a third time. Now it's Nana's voice, screaming that the Nana inside is the ghost. Kaya believes it. She opens the door. The spirit steps in smugly, "Thanks for letting me in." Nana immediately slaps a ward seal onto its forehead. It howls. Kaya throws one punch. One hit. Gone. She sweetly apologizes. "Auntie Banana, I messed up." Nana is shaken. She realizes something chilling. Her power and even Mai's is nowhere near Kaya's. Kaya just sticks her tongue out at the ghost dust and giggles. Meanwhile, Kai calls Mob, saying Nana warned her to stop investigating the family. But the one who answers isn't Mob. It's his master. The very next day, Kai calls Mob's wife and gets hit with news she definitely wasn't ready for Mob is missing. But according to his wife, totally normal. Apparently, Mob has a bad habit of randomly disappearing, getting tangled up in bizarre situations, and strolling back home like he just went out to buy milk. No big deal. They hang up, but Kai still feels uneasy. When she tried calling Mob herself, the voice that answered was not his, not even close, so now she's just hoping he's okay and not possessed. Later, while the kids are playing outside, Mob's mysterious mentor stands at a distance, quietly watching Kaya dominate the playground. The other kids are waiting for their turn on a toy, and Kaya casually says she'll give it up when she messes up. The mentor narrows his eyes. No doubt, she's the 8th Shrine Maiden. That child is a monster. Not exactly something you want to hear about a kid on a swing set. A little later, a toddler starts crying like the world is ending. Kai checks on him. Turns out he put his socks and shoes on the wrong feet, and his grandma wants him to fix it. He refuses. He likes it that way. Grandma loses patience and blurts out that dead people wear their clothes reversed. Back in the day, she explains, the deceased were dressed differently to separate them from the living. Then she points at him and says he looks like a corpse. Great job, Grandma. The kid cries harder. But Kai knows how kids think. Instead of arguing, she praises him for putting his shoes on by himself and asks him to show her again. Like magic, he puts them on correctly without realizing it. Grandma stares at Kai like she just performed sorcery. Right then, Kai feels a strange presence nearby but sees no one. Soon after, she finally gets a message from Mob. It's a picture of a park. He asks her to come alone. He has something important to say. Suspicious? Very. Does she go anyway? Of course she does. That night, she waits alone in the park. No Mob, just darkness and regret. Then she notices a little boy on the swing beside her. Something feels wrong. He ignores her and gives her a wide, unsettling smile. Then his mother runs toward them, waving. Kai sighs in relief, until she notices something horrifying. The boy is waving at his mom backwards. The grandma's comment echoes in her head. The dead do everything in reverse. Kai looks at the mother again. She's running backwards too. That's it. Kai runs. She slams into someone. It's Mob. She frantically tells him there's a ghost family. Mob, instead of panicking like a normal human, gets excited and starts writing everything down. Because this man loves ghosts. Kai yells that this is not note-taking time. Then she notices something worse. Mob is writing everything backwards. He looks up, grins, and claps slowly. Impressive. You know the dead do everything in reverse. Kai freezes. Her knees give out. Suddenly, the mentor appears and casually flicks Mob on the forehead. Just like that, the spirit possessing him is forced out. Mob blinks, says he feels lighter, like something heavy just left his body. The mentor confirms it. Kai was used as bait. They lured the spirit to a high-activity ghost area. Kai is shocked and furious. She demands answers, especially about who this antisocial mystery man even is. Mob explains his name is Nam San, a powerful medium who taught him everything about spirits. Kai stares at them. Great. Now she has a second suspect, a weird, unemployed man with no fixed address. Nam San doesn't react. He simply tells her not to get involved with the Shrine Maidens of the Ebisamori family. That only makes her more curious. Who are the Ebisamori? For generations, an extraordinary power has been passed down to the eldest daughter of that family, and that power now belongs to Kaya. Nam San says it plainly. That little girl is a monster. He explains that Mob is basically a walking possess me sign, extremely sensitive to spiritual energy and an easy target for ghosts. Then he adds something colder. Shrine maidens with power like Kaya's shouldn't live normal public lives. Kai immediately defends her. Kaya is sweet, kind, just a child. Namsen doesn't budge. When power is overwhelming, goodness doesn't matter. Power that's strong is dangerous either way. For once, Kai has no comeback. The next day, Kaya happily builds a sand mountain. Yuki shows up like a tiny CEO, declares the area Nakahashi Construction, and teaches her the proper way to build. When it's her turn, she destroys the mountain in one hit, burying him. "You're fired," he screams, heartbroken on day one. As he rebuilds, Masaru makes a better one. Refusing to lose, Yuki digs a tunnel instead. While digging, he feels someone digging back. Then a cold hand grabs his arm from inside the sand. He sees a ghost pulling him in. His friends see nothing. Kaya rushes over and smashes the sand pile, stopping it. Yuki convinces himself it was imagination, until he sees finger marks on his arm. Not imagination. Later, Kaya hides that her powers are taking longer than usual to calm down and joins Yuzu like nothing's wrong. That afternoon, Yuki's mom storms in about the grip marks. Yuki says Kaya was there, but she didn't do it. She stopped the monster. At the Fall Family Festival, Kai senses someone who doesn't belong. During a distraction, Kaya lets go of her dad's hand, then realizes she's holding a stranger's. It's the same creepy man. She runs, gets lost. He corners her, drops the fake kindness, and grabs her. She punches him. He catches her arm. She screams, but people assume it's just a stubborn child. His grip tightens. Her powers surge. Kaya is strong. So why is she scared? Just before she loses control, Namsen appears. He grabs the man's arm and calmly says, "What are you doing with my daughter?" The calm tone is scarier than shouting. People finally notice the creep. He slips away. Namsen sees Kaya barely holding herself together. He gently places a mask over her face. Her eyes aren't a child's anymore. They're ancient, terrifying, monstrous. As he carries her away, he murmurs, "This is exactly why monsters shouldn't live among people." The story then reveals Namsen's heartbreaking past. Because of his paranormal abilities, his own parents abandoned him. On his first day at school, while other kids struggled with math, Namsen secretly tried to save a girl from a ghost clinging to her neck. But no one else could see it. To everyone else, it looked like he was attacking a classmate. The girl screamed, and the entire class labeled him a freak. Things only got worse. Namsen kept getting sent to the principal's office for causing trouble, even though he was actually dealing with spirits. The bullying soon turned physical, and people became convinced he had lost his mind. Eventually, he was locked in an institution and pumped with medication, but the ghosts were real, so nothing helped. The isolation pushed him into deep depression until one day he jumped out of a window. Miraculously, he survived. That's when Mob first appeared in his life. Mob walked into his hospital room, handed him a business card, and introduced himself as a spirit medium investigating a dangerous ghost in room 313. He said Namsen had almost become its next victim and promised to protect him. A nurse dragged Mob out for trespassing, but that night Namsen couldn't stop thinking about his words, even though he still believed no one would care if he disappeared. The next day, Mob returned and covered Namsen's bed with charms to protect him from spirits. When Namsen asked if Mob felt embarrassed knowing people saw him as a joke, Mob calmly replied that people fear what they don't understand. When someone is too different, others push them away, so no one is really to blame. Namsen assumed Mob was just comforting himself, but Mob pointed out something surprising. Even though everyone rejected him, Namsen hadn't. Before they could talk more, the nurse dragged Mob away again. But for the first time in a long while, Namsen smiled. Later that night, Mob waited in the next room and told Namsen to knock if the ghost appeared. Suddenly loud banging echoed through the wall. When Namsen checked on Mob, Mob was confused it wasn't him making the noise. Behind them, a ghost was smashing its head against the wall before slowly turning and grinning. Terrified but determined, Mob aimed his tiny holy water pistol and declared he would protect Namsen. The ghost attacked immediately. The door slammed shut, trapping Mob inside as the spirit slammed him against the wall. His confidence quickly faded, he was completely outmatched. Then the door opened. Namsen calmly walked in and destroyed the ghost with a single finger. Afterward, he thanked Mob for trying to protect him, but bluntly added that Mob was incredibly weak for a spirit medium. Then, with full confidence, Namsen declared he would become Mob's master. Back in the present, Kai and Kaya-chan's father realize Kaya is missing and split up to search for her. Kai finds Kaya in Namsen's arms and follows him into an alley, telling him to put her down. Namsen calmly does so and notes how lifeless she looks, but Kai ignores that and comforts the girl. Watching this, Namsen asks a disturbing question. Is Kai protecting the girl because she truly cares, or because she's trying to tame a dangerous creature? Kai immediately rejects the idea, insisting Kaya isn't a monster. Namsen then shows the scar on his head and explains that people with supernatural powers are considered abnormal, and the stronger they become, the further they drift from being human. Calmly, he says he no longer sees Kaya as human. While Mob believes she's divine, Namsen believes the Ebisamori family is something far darker. Then he reveals the truth: he is also an Ebisamori. To prove it, Namsen suddenly pulls the spirit out of Kaya's body, causing her to collapse like an empty shell. Kai panics and catches her. Namsen explains that Kaya exists because of an Ebisamori ritual. The eldest daughter becomes a shrine maiden who inherits immense power, but over time a spirit slowly replaces her humanity. He says he doesn't care if the Ebisamori destroy themselves with that power. But since Mob and Kai insist on protecting them, he plans to exorcise Kaya's spirit, and Kai can keep the empty body afterward. That's the last straw. Kai knocks Namsen down and grabs Kaya's spirit, demanding he return her because Kaya isn't a monster. At that moment, Kai remembers a moment from the past. Kaya once refused to change clothes in front of others and angrily said Kai wouldn't understand. Instead of getting upset, Kai gently said she wanted to understand. Surprised, Kaya quietly asked if Kai hated her. Kai immediately said no. She told Kaya it was impossible to hate her. In fact, she loved her very much and pulled the girl into a warm hug. For the first time in her life, Kaya truly felt loved. With tears in her eyes, she shyly asked Kai for a long-sleeved shirt. She explained she always covered her body because she was getting darker. Another teacher had dismissed it as moodiness, but Kai knew it was something deeper. Even though Kai didn't fully understand what Kaya meant, she told her something simple. If she could help her, the exact meaning didn't matter. Back in the alley, Kai stands firmly in front of Namsen and says it doesn't matter if Kaya's inner self is a spirit. Kaya can still smile, get annoyed, and feel happy. Those emotions prove a human heart still exists inside her. Then Kai makes a bold promise. If Namsen keeps treating Kaya like a monster, he'll regret it because she will protect her. Those words deeply move Kaya's spirit. Remembering Kaya's kindness and warmth she had never received before, the spirit returns to Kaya's body on its own. Namsen looks at his hand, frustrated. The truth is, he simply isn't strong enough to exorcise a spirit that has fully merged with a human. Kaya slowly opens her eyes. As Kai hugs her, the girl says she got lost and then starts crying because for the first time in her life, she felt real fear. Kai comforts her and promises to take her back to her father. Later, Kaya happily sits in her father's arms as Kai says goodbye. When Kai asks if he still plans to exorcise her, Namsen shakes his head. He admits he can only deal with spirits that haven't fully merged with humans unless a spirit reveals itself. There's nothing he can do. Curious, he asks how Kai brought Kaya back, assuming she has paranormal powers. But Kai says it wasn't her. Kaya simply found her own way back. At that moment, Namsen realizes something important. Just like Mob's words once saved him, Kai's words saved Kaya. Later, Kai absolutely spams Mob's phone, screaming that Naaman is dangerous and straight up tried to take Kaya-chan out. But right on cue, boom, Naaman appears behind Mob like a horror villain and calmly goes, "Relax, it was just an exorcism, not murder." Kai? Yeah, she's not buying it. She gets even more pissed seeing him casually chilling at Mob's place. Naaman explains he's been investigating Kaya-chan with Mob because something doesn't add up. On paper, she's perfect to become the next Ebisamori leader, eldest daughter, correct name, insane power. But instead, she's living like a normal kid. And that's the weird part. Because someone that powerful shouldn't be normal. Kai then hits him with the obvious question. Wait, aren't you one of them? Naaman admits he is but from a side branch of the family. Basically, the no powers, just vibes version. These side families worship the main bloodline like it's a cult. But he got kicked out. Why? Because as a kid, he could see what the priestesses really are. And whatever he saw? Yeah, it messed him up badly. He even shows his damaged hand, the result of touching Kaya-chan, and warns them something seriously dark is going on with her. Since Kai turned her human again, he says the responsibility now falls on her to protect her. Kai doesn't hesitate. Obviously. Later, Aunt Nana picks up Kaya-chan from school and instantly senses something's off. She asks Kai what happened, but Kai hesitates, afraid Nana might start seeing Kaya-chan as a monster. Nana gently tells her to come to her if anything comes up. That night, while making charms, Kaya-chan asks if Nana can fight monsters too. Nana laughs it off, saying only someone special like her can do that. But Kaya-chan, still shaken, says she's done fighting forever. And honestly, Nana understands. She admits she used to be scared too and would hide behind her mom. So she gives her a protection charm. Kaya-chan looks at it. It looks like a butt. And just like that, Nana freezes. Because Kaya-chan's mom said the exact same thing as a kid. Nana starts tearing up without realizing it. Next day at school, things go bad. During hide and seek, a kid gets possessed and lures another into a nightmare corner full of creepy tentacles. Kaya-chan finds her friends, but their smiles. Yeah, not normal. They call her weird. That hits hard. She tries to fight back, but her powers fail. She gets dropped instantly. The ghosts start spreading, pulling more kids into their twisted game. One girl realizes something's wrong and runs straight to Kaya-chan, begging for help. But Kaya-chan freezes. Trauma hits. Then desperate, she grabs Nana's charm. Meanwhile, the ghosts drag her friend toward their main body. Game over, right? Nope. Kaya-chan shows up. She pushes her friend away and says, "Run." Then faces the ghosts and goes, "You're being mean to my friends, and that's not okay." One punch later, ghost deleted. Everyone snaps back. And Kaya-chan just stands there like she won a playground game. Her friends rush in, hugging her, and for the first time, she realizes they didn't abandon her. They trusted her. Later, she excitedly tells Kai everything and shows her the charm. Meanwhile, Mob is acting like a full-time stalker, taking photos of Kaya-chan like a weirdo. Naaman sticks around to protect him, and good thing, because a ghost literally jumps out of the camera. He handles it, but realizes the problem. The photos multiplied the ghosts. Now he's surrounded. He tries to fight, but his injured hand gives out. Then, swoosh, a hula hoop slices every ghost in half. Kaya-chan enters like a superhero. Hurt Mob's friend? Not allowed. Mob drops to his knees like he just saw a goddess and begs to take more pictures. Naaman, finally convinced she's not an immediate threat, leaves. Kaya-chan watches him go. Huh, Aunt Banana in boy form. Meanwhile, Naaman looks at his worsening hand and realizes he might not be able to protect Mob much longer. Later, Kai tells Nana everything Kaya-chan can see ghosts, fight them, and isn't normal. Nana asks why she trusts her. Kai shows the charm. It says, "Let all evil be directed to Ebisamori Nana," meaning Nana literally signed herself up as a damage shield, and she just shrugs it off. Then Nana drops the real lore bomb. Long ago, the Ebisamori family had a powerful priestess. When her power stopped passing down, they refused to accept it. So they created the cursed womb. Every girl born from it becomes a copy of that original priestess. Same face, same power. Generation after generation. Not daughters, vessels. Kai is shaken. Then, is Kaya-chan even real? Nana reassures her she is. She has her own personality. As for why her mother did this? Rebellion. She wanted to break free from the family's system. But then, things get worse. Kai reveals Kaya-chan's mom is pregnant again. And something supernatural is already inside. Nana immediately goes to confirm it. Kaya-chan begs her not to go. But Nana steps forward anyway. The moment she opens the hospital door, something grabs her. Her eye starts bleeding instantly. She should have died. But right then she gets a call. Her mother just passed away. She looks down. Her charm is broken. The next day, Kaya-chan's dad shows up at school looking like sleep has officially left his life. He quietly tells Kai the reason Nana didn't come, her mother passed away last night. Yeah, things just got heavy. Later, Nana calls the school and asks to speak with Kai. The moment Kai picks up, Nana's tone is different, serious, cold, no jokes. She says they need to meet in person. And not just anywhere. The Ebisomori mansion. The next day, Kai, Nana, and Kaya-chan head there together. On the way, Nana explains she's going to pay respects to her mother, and since Kaya-chan's dad is completely exhausted, she offered to take care of her and bring Kai along too. Convenient, but suspicious. When they arrive, Kai is stunned. The mansion is massive, like, we don't even live in the same universe kind of rich. But before she can take it all in, she spots Mob and Naaman already there. Instant annoyance. Like, why are they here? Inside, Kai pulls Nana aside, questioning everything. Nana calmly explains that Mob has some connection to Kaya-chan, even if it's weak, and right now, she's not in a position to refuse help. Fair enough. But Naaman? Yeah, he immediately makes things worse. He bluntly asks Nana if she got scared after seeing how her mother really died, then drops it. Was Matsu murdered? Kai instantly covers Kaya-chan's ears because that is not kid-friendly and sends her outside to play. Once they're alone, Nana gathers everyone and finally reveals why she brought them here. As they walk deeper into the mansion, she explains that when her mother was alive, this place was full of psychics and mediums. Naaman casually roasts her, saying that kind of stuff isn't even respected anymore and calls Nana a mediocre medium. Kai tries to defend her, but Nana just shrugs and agrees. She knows she's not as powerful as her mother, or even Kaya-chan. Then she takes them into a hidden room. And this is where things go from weird to what did I just hear? Nana reveals a forbidden family ritual. The cursed womb. Yeah, already sounds illegal. Kai is completely disgusted. Mob, meanwhile, weirdly fascinated, like he just unlocked forbidden trivia. Nana explains the longer the baby stays in the womb, the stronger the power becomes, but since she was born early, she ended up average. Naaman calls all of it nonsense until he drops a bigger truth. Matsu didn't die naturally. She was killed by a curse. A curse created by someone who absolutely hates the Ebisomori family. And the creepiest part? When she died, her soul didn't even leave her body. Mob is confused, he's seen souls pass on before. Naaman confirms it. This wasn't normal. This was intentional. Then Nana reveals the worst part. The person behind everything isn't an outsider. It's Kan's own mother. Mob struggles to believe it. Creating a curse like that isn't easy, especially for someone who isn't even a medium. But Nana explains the truth. In the Ebisomori family, younger sisters are used as curse carriers. Basically, human sacrifices. They carry the curse until it grows strong enough, but the process slowly kills them from the inside. And once it's born, the curse kills its target. And to make sure they don't resist, the younger daughters are deliberately brain damaged. Yeah, this family is completely broken. Nana shows them a photo of their aunt, Yoshi, the last victim. She was kind, loving, the only adult who actually cared, especially about Mai, who was always ignored. But when Yoshi got pregnant, she was already chosen to die. Nana knew. Mai didn't. To Mai, it just looked like cruelty. A cold, heartless family that treated her like nothing. After Yoshi died, they lied and said it was a car accident, and things only got worse. Mai was bullied for being an Ebisomori, called a fraud, a witch. When she finally asked her mother why she was treated differently, she got her answer. Because you're not a priestess. That broke her. Years later, Mai discovers Yoshi's records and finally learns the truth. Yoshi wasn't unlucky. She was used, sacrificed, thrown away. And the final twist? Yoshi left behind instructions for the cursed womb ritual. Almost like she knew Mai would follow the same path. That's when everything clicks. In this family, older sisters are treated like humans. And younger ones? Disposable tools. So Mai snaps. All that pain, all that anger. turns into pure hatred, and she makes one decision. She's going to burn the entire Ebisamori family to the ground, no matter the cost.